Have you ever wondered why some people seem to navigate life with an almost supernatural serenity, while others constantly battle against the waves of chaos? Why do certain figures in history and fiction manage to maintain unwavering mental clarity even in the face of the greatest storms? The answer may lie in the wisdom of a young man who transformed from an exiled duke into the leader of a galactic revolution. Paul Atreides, the protagonist of Dune, is not just a science fiction character. He's a symbol of the human journey in search of true inner leadership, the acceptance of fate, and the courage to face the unknown. Right now, as you prepare to find the peace of sleep, imagine for a moment what it would be like to possess the same mental clarity that Paul developed throughout his epic journey. Imagine having the ability to see through the illusions of the world, to accept both pain and joy as necessary teachers, and to find purpose even in the most challenging situations. This isn't just fantasy. It's a real possibility that lives within you, waiting to be awakened. Welcome to a unique journey of self-discovery and transformation. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll explore together 35 profound lessons drawn from the wisdom of Paul Atreides, each carefully selected to not only calm your mind before sleep, but to plant seeds of profound change in your consciousness. You'll discover how to apply the teachings of this extraordinary leader to your daily life, developing the same resilience, vision, and purpose that made him such a remarkable figure. This isn't just another personal development video. It's a transformative experience that combines the magic of epic storytelling with practical and timeless wisdom. Throughout this journey, you will learn to embrace your own heroic nature, find peace amidst chaos, and discover that within you lies a leader capable of facing any challenge. Prepare for a deeper, more restorative night's sleep as your subconscious mind absorbs these powerful teachings. Lesson 1. Fear is the mind killer. Paul Atreides learned early on that fear isn't just an emotion, it's a paralyzing force that distorts reality and prevents us from seeing the opportunities hidden behind challenges. When you allow fear to dominate your thoughts, it becomes like quicksand. The more you struggle against it, the deeper you sink. True wisdom lies in recognizing fear as a temporary visitor, not a permanent resident of your mind. Practice observing your fears without judgment, as if they were clouds passing across the sky of your consciousness. When you stop feeding fear with resistance, it naturally dissolves, leaving space for clarity and courage to emerge. Lesson 2. There is no escape from fate, only acceptance. Resistance to what's happening in your life is one of the greatest sources of human suffering. Paul understood that fighting against the natural flow of events is like trying to swim against a powerful current. You only exhaust yourself without making real progress. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means acknowledging the reality of the present moment and working with it, not against it. When you stop wasting energy fighting what you can't change, that energy becomes available to influence what truly is within your control. Practice asking yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Lesson 3. Water teaches that gentle persistence overcomes rigidity. On Arrakis, Paul learned that water is the most precious resource, not only because of its scarcity, but because of its nature. Water doesn't force its way through rock. It finds the cracks, adapts to the contours, and over time carves majestic canyons. You can apply this wisdom to your relationships and personal challenges. Instead of forcing solutions or trying to change other people through pressure, develop the art of gentle persistence. Be consistent in your actions, flexible in your methods, and patient with the results. True transformation happens gradually, like water that transforms the landscape through its constant and loving presence. Lesson 4. True power comes from the union of strength and wisdom. Paul discovered that having extraordinary abilities without the wisdom to use them is like having a sharp sword in the hands of a child. Power without wisdom becomes destructive, while wisdom without power remains ineffective. In your life, strive to develop both aspects. Cultivate your skills, talents, and technical knowledge, but always balance them with emotional wisdom, compassion, and a deep understanding of the consequences of your actions. Regularly ask yourself, how can I use my abilities to serve something greater than my own interests? This question aligns your personal power with a higher purpose, making it truly transformative. Lesson 5. Solitude is the laboratory of the soul. In the most difficult moments of his journey, Paul found strength in solitude. Not solitude as painful isolation, but as a sacred space to reconnect with himself. In our hyper-connected society, we rarely allow our minds to experience deep silence. You need to create daily moments of mindful solitude where you can listen to your inner voice without the distractions of the external world. These moments become your personal laboratory for self-discovery, where you can process experiences, clarify values, and reconnect with your inner wisdom. Consciously chosen solitude is an act of self-love, not avoidance. Lesson 14. Humility is the gateway to wisdom. Paul discovered that the more power and knowledge he acquired, the more aware he became of how little he truly knew. Genuine humility is not self-deprecation. It's an honest assessment of your position in the grand scheme of things. When you maintain a learner's attitude, even in areas where you already possess expertise, you remain open to insights and opportunities that would pass unnoticed by a closed mind. Humility also protects you from arrogance, which is one of the quickest ways to lose connection with reality and with other people. Lesson 15. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Lesson 16. Intuition is the language of inner wisdom. Paul learned to listen to and trust his intuition as a form of navigation superior to pure logic. Intuition isn't magical thinking. It's a way of processing information that integrates conscious and unconscious knowledge in ways the rational mind can't directly access. You can develop your intuition through the practice of mindfulness, reducing mental noise, and creating spaces of silence where insights can naturally emerge. Learn to distinguish between genuine intuition and impulses based on fear or desire, developing the ability to feel the difference in your body and emotions. Lesson 17. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but action in spite of it. Paul faced immense fears on his journey, from the death of his father to the responsibility of leading a galactic revolution. He discovered that courage isn't an emotional state, but a conscious decision to act in alignment with your values, even when difficult feelings are present. You can develop courage through gradual practice, confronting smaller fears consistently to build confidence in your ability to handle larger challenges. Courage is like a muscle that strengthens with use, and each courageous act makes the next one a little easier. Lesson 18. Gratitude transforms scarcity into abundance. Even in the harshest desert landscape, Paul learned to recognize and appreciate the available resources. Gratitude is a practice that literally shifts your perception of reality, allowing you to see opportunities and resources that would go unnoticed by a mind focused on lack. When you cultivate genuine gratitude, you develop a psychological abundance that becomes a magnet for more positive experiences. Gratitude isn't just an emotion, it's a lens through which you can choose to view the world, one that reveals hidden riches in seemingly ordinary experiences. Lesson 19. Purpose is the fuel of persistence. Paul managed to overcome seemingly impossible challenges because he was connected to a purpose larger than his individual survival. When you have clarity on why you're doing something, the how becomes easier to figure out. Purpose doesn't need to be grandiose in a world-altering sense. It can be deeply personal as long as it's authentic and meaningful to you. Develop the habit of connecting your daily actions to your deepest values. regularly asking yourself, how does this activity serve my growth or contribute to something larger than myself? Lesson 20. Discipline is self-love in action. Paul understood that discipline isn't a form of self-punishment, but an expression of self-love and commitment to his growth. When you set and maintain high standards for yourself, you're demonstrating that you believe in your potential and are willing to do the necessary work to realize it. True discipline is sustainable because it's based on inspiration, not obligation. Connect your disciplinary habits to the outcomes that truly matter to you, and they'll become natural instead of forced. Lesson 21. True strength comes from integration, not separation. Paul learned that trying to deny or suppress aspects of yourself only makes them more powerful in the shadows. Integration means accepting and working with all parts of your personality, including those you'd rather not have. When you stop fighting your difficult tendencies and begin to understand them as information about your unmet needs, you can channel them constructively. The integrated person isn't perfect. They're whole, able to access different aspects of their personality as situations demand. Lesson 22. Change begins with acceptance of what is. Paul discovered that trying to change something you don't fully accept is like trying to build a house on shaky foundations. Acceptance doesn't mean liking everything in your current life. It means acknowledging present reality without distortions or denials. When you fully accept where you are, you can make an honest assessment of where you want to go and what resources you have to get there. Acceptance is the starting point for any authentic transformation, because you can only change what you first recognize as real. Lesson 24. True communication happens beyond words. Paul discovered that the most powerful communication happens at the level of energy, intention, and presence. Your words are only a small part of the message you convey. Your body language, tone of voice, emotional state, and quality of attention communicate far more than the verbal content. When you want to communicate something important, first align your inner state with your message. The congruence between what you feel, think, and express creates irresistible and authentic communication. Lesson 25. Wisdom lies in knowing when to act and when to wait. Paul had to learn to forgive deep betrayals and immense losses. He discovered that forgiveness isn't about justifying others' actions or forgetting what happened. Forgiveness is about releasing your own emotional energy from the prison of resentment. When you carry grudges, you're constantly reliving painful past events and allowing them to contaminate your present. Forgiveness is an act of personal liberation that allows you to use your emotional energy to create the future you want instead of eternally reacting to the past you can't change. Lesson 26. Growth happens in the discomfort zone. Ethan understood that staying within his comfort zone is a form of stagnation disguised as safety. Real growth requires you to put yourself in situations that challenge your current capabilities and expand your horizons. This doesn't mean seeking unnecessary discomfort, but developing a willingness to face challenges that serve your development. Each time you choose growth over comfort, you increase your ability to handle complex and uncertain situations. Lesson 28. Identity is fluid, not fixed. Ethan had to shed multiple identities throughout his journey, from privileged young man to refugee, from refugee to revolutionary leader. He learned that rigidly clinging to a specific identity limits your ability to grow and adapt. You are not just one thing. You are a complex and multifaceted being with potential for continuous development. Allow yourself to evolve without clinging to old versions of yourself that may no longer serve your current growth. Lesson 28. Inner peace is independent of external circumstances. Ethan discovered that true peace can't be found in the absence of conflict, but in the ability to maintain inner serenity even amidst chaos. Inner peace is a skill that can be developed through the consistent practice of mindfulness, meditation, and conscious acceptance. When you stop making your peace dependent on specific external circumstances, you gain a psychological freedom that nothing can take away from you. Lesson 29. Leadership is serving something bigger than yourself. Ethan learned that authentic leadership isn't about personal power, but about serving a larger cause or community. When you lead from a place of genuine service, you naturally inspire others because they sense that you are committed to something beyond your own elevation. Identify ways you can contribute to the well-being of others, whether in your family, work, or community. Servant leadership is a source of deep satisfaction and lasting purpose. Lesson 30. Detachment is the key to freedom. Ethan understood that excessive attachment to specific outcomes is a source of suffering and limitation. Detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means doing your best work and allowing the results to be what they are. When you become overly attached to how things should be, you lose the ability to respond creatively to what actually is. Conscious detachment allows you to invest energy in your actions while maintaining mental flexibility about the outcomes. Lesson 31. Compassion is strength, not weakness. Ethan discovered that genuine compassion requires tremendous courage and inner strength. It's easy to be hard and closed off. It's difficult to remain open and compassionate when you've been hurt. Compassion isn't naivete. It's a conscious choice to see the humanity in everyone, including those who have caused pain. When you develop genuine compassion, you become a force for healing in the world, able to break cycles of negativity through your own inner transformation. Lesson 34. Responsibility is the price of freedom. Ethan learned that true freedom isn't the absence of responsibility, but the ability to consciously choose your responsibilities. When you accept full responsibility for your choices, reactions, and outcomes, you gain real power over your life. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's an empowering tool that allows you to be the author of your own story instead of a victim of circumstances. Lesson 35. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Ethan discovered that the most elegant solutions are often the simplest. In a world that values complexity, you can find power in conscious simplicity. This means identifying the essential elements in any situation and focusing your energy on them rather than getting lost in details that don't contribute to the desired outcome. Simplicity requires wisdom to distinguish between the important and the urgent, between the essential and the optional. Lesson 36. Confidence comes from preparation meeting opportunity. Ethan developed confidence not through empty affirmations, but through consistent and thorough preparation. True confidence is based on real competence and self-awareness. When you invest time developing your skills and understanding your capabilities, you naturally feel more confident to face challenges. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's an honest assessment of your preparedness to handle life's demands. Lesson 36. Confidence comes from preparation meeting opportunity. Ethan developed confidence not through empty affirmations, but through consistent and thorough preparation. True confidence is based on real competence and self-awareness. When you invest time developing your skills and understanding your capabilities, you naturally feel more confident to face challenges. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's an honest assessment of your preparedness to handle life's demands. Lesson 35. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Ethan discovered that the most elegant solutions are often the simplest. In a world that values complexity, you can find power in conscious simplicity. This means identifying the essential elements in any situation and focusing your energy on them rather than getting lost in details that don't contribute to the desired outcome. Simplicity requires wisdom to distinguish between the important and the urgent, between the essential and the optional. Lesson 36. Confidence comes from preparation meeting opportunity. Ethan developed confidence not through empty affirmations, but through consistent and thorough preparation. True confidence is based on real competence and self-awareness. When you invest time developing your skills and understanding your capabilities, you naturally feel more confident to face challenges. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's an honest assessment of your preparedness to handle life's demands. Lesson 36. Confidence comes from preparation meeting opportunity. Ethan developed confidence not through empty affirmations, but through consistent and thorough preparation. True confidence is based on real competence and self-awareness. When you invest time developing your skills and understanding your capabilities, you naturally feel more confident to face challenges. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's an honest assessment of your preparedness to handle life's demands. Lesson 36. Confidence comes from preparation meeting opportunity. Ethan developed confidence not through embers deeply into your consciousness. Each teaching we've explored together is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your mind, ready to germinate and grow in the days to come. You don't need to implement all of these lessons at once. Let them work on you, like water shaping stone through its patient and constant presence. The journey of personal transformation is similar to Ethan's journey across the harsh desert landscape. It requires courage to face the unknown, wisdom to navigate challenges, and faith to persevere even when the path ahead is unclear. But just as Ethan discovered strengths within himself he never knew he possessed, you too will discover extraordinary capabilities waiting to be awakened. Remember, you're not just consuming content tonight. You're participating in an ancient tradition of seeking wisdom through stories and teachings. Each lesson that resonates with you is an acknowledgement of truths that already exist within you, waiting to be remembered and applied. Your personal growth journey is unique, but you're not alone in it. You're part of a community of seekers who value conscious transformation and inner development. As you close your eyes tonight, carry with you the assurance that you possess everything you need to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As Ethan discovered, true strength doesn't come from supernatural powers, but from deeply human qualities: courage, compassion, wisdom, and a willingness to continually grow. You have these qualities within you, and each new day is an opportunity to express them more fully. If these lessons touched your heart tonight, consider sharing this experience with others who are also on personal growth journeys. Leave a comment about which lesson resonated with you and how you plan to apply it to your life. Your experience might be exactly what someone needs to hear to take the next step on their own transformative journey. Subscribe to the channel to continue exploring with us the wisdom of extraordinary figures who can inspire us to live with more purpose, clarity, and courage. Each video is an opportunity to plant new seeds of growth and to remember the essential truths that can transform our life experience. Now, breathe deeply, allow your body to completely relax, and trust that your subconscious mind will continue processing these lessons as you rest. Tomorrow, you will awaken not only physically refreshed, but also spiritually enriched by the wisdom you absorbed tonight. Sleep well, light warrior, for great adventures await you on the path ahead.